We are live for the second time now.
Still not getting anything.
There we go. I am now.
You are? Well. Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
see you.
Right. Yeah, we're live now.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a delay, but that happens all streams.
Okay. Right. We'll get underway then. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Brightening Barrow. As you've noticed, we're live this time, and that's because first time it's Christmas. Or at least it's the first time for us.
Hey.
In Brightening Barrow. Woo. Christmas live episode. So we've got a few things to discuss. We've no idea how long this will take or what's going to go wrong, but you'll be here watching us attempt to get this right the first time. So we're going to start a little bit about where has Christmas come from. Obviously, you've got the religious side of it. Well, that is where it came from. It's the birth of Christ, etc. Most of us will already know the story. But the tradition of it being celebrated, that's changed quite dramatically over the years. And so we're going to start by looking at that. Maisie, would you like to start us off?
Yeah. So Christmas was originally celebrated around 336 AD in Rome, but it wasn't important or anything. Not many people really celebrated it. It was just kind of a thing that some people did, I guess. But then in the 9th century, it started to be more widely celebrated, but it wasn't as important as Good Friday or Easter, the other major holidays. And then really it started kind of picking up around the 1600s. So Christmas trees started in 1605, around there. But they were, at the time, they were decorated with apples, and then they were using candles on them, which to me doesn't make any sense because surely it would burn down the tree.
Bad idea.
But whatever, I suppose.
Yeah, health and safety had a field
Yeah, I don't really understand. And then Advent wreaths started in the 19th century, because a lot of the stuff is really new. The modern stuff that we think about now is really quite recent. The Advent wreath started in the 19th century, which originally had 24 candles on it, but then that got a bit too difficult, so they changed it to 4. But then Advent calendars were started around that time as well, and it's thought that they were started by a woman from Munich who was tired of constantly telling her kids how long it'd be till Christmas, so they made a calendar. And then the first commercial ones were made in 1851 to be sold, obviously. And then giving gifts, that started in the 15th century, which kind of changed Christmas a bit to make it more for friends and family rather than just for go to church and stuff like that. Which actually that was part of the reason it was later banned by the Puritans in the 17th century, because it was giving gifts, making people happy and stuff like that, which they didn't like. Father Christmas started in Europe, which was based on St. Nicholas, as you probably know. And that was about him, and he came on his feast day, which is the 6th of December, and brought small gifts to children, such as sweets and stuff like that. But then his role was eventually transformed by the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," which people might know. But I think that was originally called "A Visit from St. Nicholas," and they changed the name. So, yeah, and that's how it became Father Christmas.
Yes, we've got a brief history of everything that's happened, sort of, from its early origins as kind of just being a thing. Obviously, it originated from birth of Jesus' birth of Christ. Some people celebrated, as you said, around 336 in Rome. Sorry. The next point you mentioned was it's in the 9th century. It was celebrated more widely. So this is it was more known. Christmas started becoming what we associate with now, because more people are celebrating. As you said, it's not as important as Good Friday or Easter. Well, technically, that's still the case. It might not seem it, but in the Christian calendar, Good Friday and Easter are the most important events, happenings in the church. Good Friday, obviously, being where Jesus was crucified on top of. No, I can't remember now. That's going to annoy me. Okay, and then obviously on Easter when he rose from dead, it's not celebrated as much, clearly, because well, there isn't that much of a fuss about Easter and Good Friday, but technically they are still important.
Definitely.
The Christmas trees came in from Germany. So do you know when they first came into Europe? When did we first start seeing Christmas trees?
It was the Victorian era, wasn't it? Because Queen Victoria married Albert, who was he of like Saxe-Coburg and Gotha or something like that? I don't know why I know that.
Yeah.
And then he kind of brought a lot of people from there. Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, I think.
Never heard of them
That's
before.
off the top of my head. That might be wrong.
Never heard of them before.
No, I don't think they're around anymore.
Probably why.
No, I think no. But yeah, Prince Albert brought it in after being married to Queen Victoria, who I'm sure we all know. That's where Christmas trees started coming into Europe. Were they originally the fir Christmas trees, or was there something else? I can't remember. Is there some other odd things?
I think they were still fir.
Candles and apples, which, like I say, it's a bit odd.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sort of see where that's coming from. Obviously, Jesus being born in the light of the world, so obviously got all these candles representing light. That's what candles are usually for. So presumably that's where the candles come from. But the apples, I've got no idea. It's a bit odd, isn't it?
Definitely.
There's also the tradition of tangerines at Christmas, isn't there?
Tangerines.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I like
With the Christingles.
so that I like it as well.
Oh.
I don't know where that's come from. I have to do a bit of research. Don't know if anyone watching knows that. Please let us know. If you do, let us know.
Definitely.
So, Christmas in the 15th century, you said it became more about family than it did the religious aspect. Is this a bad thing? Well, not. I wouldn't say a bad thing. Would you say it's undermined the point of Christmas becoming all about family? I mean, I'm not objecting to it. I'm just interested in your opinion.
I suppose like it's different depending on what like I don't know. I suppose if you aren't religious, then Christmas is just about family. But if you are, it's more about that sort of stuff. But I think that it's nice anyway. Like obviously, like at school, you still learn about like the nativity and all that, which like I know that's not totally accurate, but like you know, it's a nice little story.
Really inaccurate. I mean, one of the massive big sorry, I just want to point this out, but one of the massive big inaccuracies is not 3 wise men.
Not to mention they're all played by kids. You know, that seems a bit inaccurate too.
Yeah, that was a little bit. Well, actually, no. Mary would have been not necessarily about 5 or 6, but would have been closer to sort of our age, somewhere in between 12 and 16. Actually, that is okay. No, they're not. There isn't 3 wise men. The Bible never specifies how many.
I've never read the Bible. I don't know.
Well, I've not read it page to page, but still, it never specifies how many wise men there are. It names 3 of them. It doesn't say that there are only 3. It just says there's no. At least I think it is. But no, it's not 3 wise men. It doesn't say. Anyway, sorry, Maisie, you were saying. Just wanted to point that out there.
Well, in that like I think that even though it's not like what it was, it doesn't matter because like people still celebrate as sort of a nice time to get together with your family, and like obviously in the modern world like loneliness is a big issue, especially with like older people, so it's a nice time to see people and stuff like that. And I think that even though it's not what it was intended to be, like it's still a good thing to do.
Feels more important this year because everyone's been like separated with this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I would argue. I mean, I'm religious myself. I'm a Catholic, so I'm quite active in church. But I would argue that, well, technically, it's been about family from the start of it, because well, Jesus is God's son, and it's about God giving us His son. God also being referred to as our Father. It is He's giving us His son to save us from our sins. Obviously, that's what Easter and Good Friday. That's all about. But it is in being born into the world, into our family, if you like. So I reckon you could argue that it's always been about family, just different family, the Holy Family. I mean, I'm pushing it slightly, I think. But,
Yeah.
Father Christmas, then. So there's loads about him, isn't there? You said that it started on St. Nicholas on Easter and the Stick. I'm really embarrassed. I thought it was a bit later than that. I really should know. But no, I thought it was later. So, when did the I might be pushing a bit too much, but do you know when he actually came about? When was the first representation of Father Christmas? Because obviously he was based on St. Nicholas giving out presents and things. But Father Christmas is quite often referred to as Old Saint Nick, or something along those lines. So, do you know when Father Christmas actually appeared as Father Christmas?
I want to say Coca-Cola, but I don't think that's right.
No,
Well, that was kind of inspired by it, wasn't it? Like his outfit.
Yeah.
From like the Coke advert. I think in America, like it's quite a big deal when the Coke comes out. That's sort of like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like sort of like we have John Lewis, they have Coke. So I think that was kind of the redness, maybe.
Yeah,
But because he was originally purple, wasn't he, or blue, or something like that?
I think it was green, actually.
I thought it was blue.
Huh. Might be.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. It was a different colour.
It's like greeny bluey.
Colour, yeah. Well, I'm sure that's not the whole truth. But...
It was a tan colour.
I think he was first sort of seen as like Father Christmas, sort of like the 1500s.
Okay, that's just interesting, but whether you knew or not, I don't
like
know much.
Somewhere on there anyway. I might be a couple of hundred years off.
It was apparently it was originally a tan colour.
Oh.
What was that?
A tan colour, so like.
It's not very Christmassy.
No.
I think it's just this is a little bit better. That's a little bit more Christmassy.
Yeah.
Nice bright, colourful colours.
Yeah, not tan. No, that's definitely not a bright colour.
Yeah, that would be weird. That. Imagine that on your weird. Oh, Christmas cards. Yeah, right. I might have got this slightly wrong, but where did Christmas cards first originate from? Or maybe I'm thinking of birthday. I'm thinking
a forest.
No, when did people start giving Christmas cards?
I read that somewhere, but I can't remember now. I did read it.
I am, and I mean, I might be slightly wrong, but I'm almost certain
they appeared in America in the late 1940s, but they were very expensive.
I'm sure they appeared.
And then they appeared in the UK in 1875. So we've not had them that long.
No, again, it was a Victorian invention.
Yeah.
Victoria's really kick-started the modern-day Christmas.
Damn you, Scrooge.
With the Christmas tree from the Christmas cards. So, it is a fun question, and now that you've confirmed it isn't Victorian, I'm almost certain that I'm right. What did the first Christmas cards depict? Like, what was on
it was weird stuff on it.
Yeah.
Like weird, like, I don't know, was it like dead things or something?
Jesus
it was one
Christ.
of like... Yeah, they were really dodgy, I don't remember what it was.
Imagine receiving that through your door. Yeah, have you ever that?
I don't know if I could show this, but, give me a sec, let me just send it in the group chat. it's definitely not. I definitely don't want to show it just in case we get like struck down or something.
What have you got up? Okay. Right. Well, whilst you're sorting that out, we'll just talk
Yeah.
briefly then. What's your favourite part of Christmas? Why not?
Family. Definitely like the 24th or 25th.
What would you say?
Probably, I don't know, like presents. I like presents. There you go.
It's definitely a good part of it.
I'm greedy. I like presents.
That picture's on the group chat now.
Yeah, probably best if we don't show that. I'm not sure what people think of that. If you put there should be a link to that. Can you link that in the description or something where you can find what the old Victorian Christmas cards look like? I mean, if you want to carry on that tradition,
I don't think I will.
So we're going to move slightly away, not completely away from Christmas, but another part of Christmas. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's the presents and giving. So what better giving ideals, places to give to and receive from than charities? So a lot of charities are really active. Excuse me. A lot of charities are really active during Christmas because, well, they have to be. That's when a lot of people are vulnerable, either because they're lonely or mentally. There's a lot of charities doing a lot of really good work. So we're just going to take a few moments to look at a few of them. I've just picked a quick selection, done a little bit of research about them. But I mean, I'm sure you all know about them. So one of them that you see quite often, you'll see adverts from. You'll see the Salvation Army pop up everywhere. For good reason, actually. They are really good. They're doing all sorts of things. So I mean, again, Maisie, we'll just talk a little bit about the Salvation Army. I believe you've got the information.
Yeah. So the Salvation Army, it's supporting lots of people. It helps over 650 communities turn to the Salvation Army for help during the winter. So clearly it's helping a lot of people. And yeah, so it does Meals on Wheels, that's Christmas lunches, and giving companionship to older people who are living alone. Christmas food parcels to families who are struggling, and some toys to children whose parents can't afford. And they also help people, homeless people, or homeless people, to help them with being homeless. That was a weird way to say that, but yeah. And they have a place in Barrow at 19 Abbey Road if you want to go there. And there's also a website which is just salvationarmy.org.uk. So yeah, if you want any more information.
All the website should be linked at some point in the description if you can get around to doing it. If not, I'm sure you can find them fairly easily. Just looking at the local charities in Barrow, because that's where we've gone.
Yep.
Another one that we looked at is Cancer Research UK. Well, I mean, there's not much to say about it because it's what it says in the tin. It is a charity that invests itself in cancer research. So, why, you ask, have I chosen to do that in a Christmas episode? Well, it affects all of us, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
At some point in your life, you may already, but someone will be affected by cancer that you know, and it can be especially difficult at Christmas. Maybe you lost them this year, maybe you lost them around Christmas, or maybe someone you know is struggling through a cancer fight. So it's really important that we think of everyone, especially those struggling. That's kind of why I included it. Do you have anything else to add about it?
Well, not really. It's pretty, self-explanatory, I think. Yeah.
And if you wanted to visit their shop, the one in Barrow is at 204 Dalton Road, or equally you can visit their website. The URL is a little bit too long to the one that I went to, but cancerresearch.org. You can find everything from there. Find your local store, which will probably be Barrow, but it may not be. Someone talk about mind for a moment?
Huh?
Mind. So, obviously with Brightening Barrow being primarily to help with mental well-being and up spirits and that type of thing. I'm sure anyone watching will know about this because we've mentioned it over and over and over again. And that's one of the reasons that we picked mind first. To talk about for a minute. So, do one of you just want to mention a couple of things about there? I've got bits and pieces of information.
This is what it is. This is just a quote. So what is it? It's just a quote.
Yeah. But...
Well, yeah, but just say what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, just put bits of information.
Mind is a mental health charity, and I feel like it's more important for Christmas, just in case people, slip into the dark path of depression. And, it's especially helpful at Christmas, especially if you have no one to celebrate Christmas with. Lonely. Anyway, it feels like it's up there in the more important ones. Especially around December, January. Yeah.
Yeah, all this year as well. I mean, you said it's especially important during this time of the year because, again, it is all about family, as we mentioned earlier. So, which is why someone supporting you with your mental health is really important. But again, that's even more important this year, obviously with the pandemic that's been going on for ages and feels like forever. It becomes even more important because everyone is suffering, even those who may not usually, if you know what I mean. So some people may be new to this. Sorry. Right. Maisie, do you want to just mention something briefly about Age UK?
Yeah, so Age UK, it helps the elderly and vulnerable, which is obviously very important because, when elderly people often struggle to do things, maybe just around the house or getting up the stairs sometimes can be difficult. So yeah, it's very important to think about them. Also, elderly people are very lonely, tend to be very lonely. So yeah, it's very useful. And they have a place in Barrow on Abbey Road, so you can go there.
Now we are running out of time, so I'm going to have to cut that section a little bit short. There is a little bit more that we could have talked about them. If you want to know more, please visit the websites. They are brilliant charities. All the charities in Barrow, well, all charities are. That's obviously the number of charities. So we're now going to move to our constant section, which is the good news stories, and I'm going to start us off this time. So this is the news, and we mentioned something similar about this episodes ago, that boxes of hope has been sent to children in Romania as Christmas presents. And we mentioned this, the shoeboxes that's given out. Well, that's gone ahead from Cumbria.
Shoeboxes.
This week, I think. What was that?
No, you just said boxes.
Oh, yeah. They are shoeboxes. 7,606 have been wrapped and
that is a lot.
Filled with all sorts of things and given out to the children in Romania. I mean, it's been slightly different this year. Normally, volunteers would go out and give it to them, but it's been a selected team to do it this year due to the COVID restrictions. Next one.
Right, okay. So the Bluebirds Trust have done a festive raffle to give a helping hand to some good causes. Included local groups and good causes, maybe. Yeah, because obviously school PTAs haven't been able to do their customary Christmas fundraising in the way they often do, so they decided to do a nice raffle for Women's Community Matters, Barrow Community Kitchen, and St Mary's Hospice, which benefit from that, as well as cancer care and some local services. So yeah, it's very good that they've done that.
We've got a couple more now. Sorry, I've got terrible internet here, so things being slow. This is the news of a festive end to a Scrooge of the Year, according to the Mail. That's quite like that title. What it is a lot of businesses and companies and things. Well, I'm saying a lot of them. A few business companies do sort of Christmas treasure hunts. They've been doing those in the past few years. Something similar has been done this year. So what it was is in various shops, elves have been hiding, or elves, 10 naughty elves have been hiding in stores, and the participants have been given a series of clues to follow these, find the elves, and each of the elves will give you a letter, and the letter will spell out the final destination. There's all sorts of people going in and around that. There's all sorts of people, and it ended with a visit from Father Christmas, or St. Nick, as we've learned earlier. Again, if you want to know more about these, all the news sites should be linked in the description.
I can link them now if you want.
Do you want to take the last one?
Ah, right. Which one's this? Is this for? I'm confused. Wait, what?
This is the third one, I think.
The third one.
Or the second one.
I've just done
the second. Okay. Oh boy. Right. So, a Christmas variety show at the Forum with their own nutcracker? Christmas cracker? One of the two. Anyway, it began at the weekend with 2 final performances going ahead. Not today. That was yesterday. At the Forum. Yeah. 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 You've missed it, unfortunately.
I'm sure it's good if you went. Normally would tell you to go to that sort of thing, but I was just
it's a bit late.
That was a bit late, so never mind.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it somewhere, like a video or something. Anyway, the many talented acts, songs, dances, comedy routines to create a magical experience. Despite the whole pandemic thing, I'm not going to say the word because I think it's not allowed on YouTube. The Christmas is put together by a team behind the usual Christmas pantomimes, Sean Productions. The forum manager said each performance sold out, but they only have a capacity of 120 as opposed to 529. Because of the whole 2 meter rule. Do you think that they've really welcomed the show and appreciate the restrictions that are in place?
Okay.
Yeah.
We are slowly running out of time, but we've only got a couple of minutes left before we've got to stop.
Really?
So I think we've got time. If anyone watching has any questions, I don't know if there is many people watching.
It's 3.
Okay. As always, let us know via email or equally the comment section and our various social medias if there's anything that you want to ask us or that you want us to include, or if you have any suggestions as well. Like I said, this was our live Christmas episode, so you got to sit through all of our pauses, ours, and well, we don't really know.
No editing, so yeah.
But this is the last episode this year. We'll be starting fresh in the new year with a look at 2020, hopefully in a positive light. So that should be a very interesting episode.
Yeah, hopefully.
You want to stand up?
All right. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. Go on.
Yep. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, thanks for watching. I don't know what episode this is actually. Maybe like 13 or something like that.
Is it?
Something along those lines, yeah.
It's an exception episode.
So
That's
yeah,
what it
thanks
is.
for watching. Yeah. So thank you for watching. And I've forgotten what the normal one is, but yeah, I hope you watch the other ones as well.
Before we go, go on.
Oh, well, we aim to Brightening Barrow one stream at a time.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, yeah, we've got to end now. So goodbye.
Okay. Bye. Make sure to subscribe and whatnot for more great content. Peace.